friends. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here. Boy, 2024 is still a very young year, but it has been among the busiest yet. And I'm going to give you my daily diary today for the week of the 8th. So Monday, January 8th through Friday, January 12th. What did I do? Well, these were days of office work at our headquarters, but intensive preparation for a lot of travels and events, big pro-life events that take place every January. So what did I do during these days? Let's go into some detail. So Monday morning, we had our staff briefing, and I had my usual morning calls with administration, and then got to my desk to look over the work of the day before having a bunch of staff meetings that I'll tell you about. I was preparing videos for broadcast, a journal ad preparation. We do various online advertising. 2024, a calendar of staff and activities, getting some more finishing touches on that. Preparation for Pro-Life Leaders meeting coming up. Website updates, advising my staff on that. Approvals of some press advisories that we're sending out to the media. E-blast approvals and setting up of interviews. Had a 9:45 meeting with our correspondence associate, a 10 o'clock meeting with our administrative team. This would be in terms of preparation for upcoming projects and events. 10:30 meeting with the website team. 11 o'clock meeting with our executive team together with our communications director and social media director about getting the message out to you even more effectively, especially for the events of the coming weeks. I went into the studio and taped some updates for our online liturgical resources for clergy so that they can preach on abortion from the readings. Had a quick lunch. Had a call with our vice chairman at 1 o'clock about an upcoming national poll that we are commissioning. And then at 1:30, had a meeting with our executive team and our finance director to work on some details of our upcoming tasks. And then at 2 o'clock, we had a special staff briefing to review for the new year the some policies that affect the staff. And so our other administrative team members took care of conducting that briefing. I had a meeting then with our political outreach director together with our website and social media department to make sure that we have updated information going out about the 2024 elections. Then, let's see, that meeting took place at about 3, and then at 3:30, I did a taping in the TV studio for our Praying for America program. At 4:30 p.m., I had a phone call with a media executive about some things they want me to do. And then at 5 o'clock, I had a half-hour podcast that I was invited to be a guest on. We taped that from 5 to 5:30. Had some dinner, looked at some end-of-day updates from the staff, did some quiet work at my desk. And then I had a Zoom meeting for 10 p.m. And this was a wonderful group of devoted pro-life Catholics. They wanted me to pray with them. These are folks who have a basis in Hollywood, actually. And we prayed, and then they had me present about our work, and we had a Q&A session, and basically it went for about 2 hours. And so I was up till about midnight. That's Monday the 8th. Tuesday the 9th, again at the office, usual morning staff meetings and briefings. Some of the things I dealt with at my desk, via email, phone calls, paperwork, planning for the Silent No More gathering we're going to have at the March for Life and the West Coast Walk for Life. Work on the launch of Pro-Life University. You'll be hearing a lot more about that. Approval of some more advertising that we are doing, promotion of our national prayer service that we're conducting, work on the online survey that we're commissioning, the preparation of a letter to our highest donors, a special monthly letter that goes out, writing opinion pieces for publication, and also working with some other pro-life leaders on what's called the Declaration of Dependence, the pro-life movement being dependent on the grace of God. That's a declaration that we're going to reissue. Did some work on that, had a 10 a.m. interview in our TV studio where I interviewed a gentleman by the name of Jim Hardin, who does great work with alternatives to abortion. 10:40, I had a meeting with our website coordinator and talked about some advertising that we're doing. From 11 a.m. to noon, I was on the Abortion Recovery Coalition call, and this is a group of those who, like ourselves, do work healing people after abortion. We have a monthly meeting. At 12:15, I had a call with another media executive, and at 12:30, a call with a conservative leader speaking about political strategy. Had some lunch, did work at my desk on the kind of topics I mentioned before, and then at 4 o'clock, I was a guest on another podcast and did that. A lot of discussion, of course, about upcoming events for the March for Life. And then the rest of that evening, I just did quiet work at my desk. Wednesday, the 10th of January, usual briefing in the morning. Some of the topics I dealt with throughout the day via email and desk work. That Declaration of Dependence that I just mentioned, we're working on some tweaks and updates so that we can redeploy that. Communication with our friends who run Vans for Life, the effort to put pregnancy mobile units in front of every abortion facility in the country. Planning for upcoming trips, approving flights, writing opinion pieces, preparing for Sanctity of Life Sunday. We're one of the best resources for churches and preachers on pro-life. So we deploy that, of course, in a special way as Sanctity of Life Sunday approaches. Approving advertising. Finalizing the survey that we send to our donors each year at this time as we send them their annual tax receipt summary. Preparation for the National Prayer Service. Phone calls with pro-life leaders. Preparation for the upcoming National Religious Broadcasters Conference, of which we are always a part. Some work in preparation for the Iowa caucuses, prospecting work, that is mailings to new lists of people who might be interested in our work. Some tweaks on the 2024 activities calendar, some renewal of online liturgical resources, preparation for our national survey, preparation for upcoming media, work on the political calendar to make sure it's up to date. At 10:30 in the morning, I taped a program together with Janet Morana, our executive director, there in our studio, talking about the upcoming events for January, March for Life. Had a lunch, some staff interactions and meetings. 2:45, back in the studio, Praying for America program for this evening. I taped that. At 3:30, I co-hosted a podcast with a gentleman by the name of Jacob Barr. Some of you may know him. He does a lot of pro-life podcasting. So that was for about an hour. We jointly interviewed another pro-life activist. And then when that podcast was finished, I had an important meeting with our executive manager together with our production team and social media director in preparation for lots of activities later in the month and broadcasting them. Had dinner, got end of day staff updates, and then at 8 p.m. helped to lead our national election training call. We do these every month. And we did that from 8 until about 9:15. Thursday, the 11th of January, some of the items I got right to work at and worked on email during the day. Again, the Declaration of Dependence, plans for the National Prayer Service, plans for our March Priests for Life newsletter, a broadcast that I want to do later in the month on the state of the movement, kind of an annual report. And then did a lot of work on a memo on pro-life strategy. This was much of the morning. I finalized a memo that's been in the works, and it is regarding the elections and candidates and getting the pro-life message out to voters in a persuasive way. There's no way to overemphasize the importance of this, and I've been working with a lot of political influential people to give input from the perspective of our work and of the pro-life movement into how we make abortion a winning issue in the elections. Had an 11:30 meeting with our correspondence and outreach associate. At 12 noon, I taped an interview with Bishop Joseph Strickland and Deacon Keith Fournier, And we did this special interview about our pro-life university. They are the co-founders of this with me. Then some lunch, checking in with staff. 2:00, I had a meeting with our video team, getting ready for some upcoming events. Speaking of those events, at 3 p.m., we had a meeting of the staff people who will be coming to the March for Life, and we had a lot of detailed planning because, of course, we have the National Prayer Service that we run. We have the Silent No More gathering that we conduct at the steps of the Supreme Court, and so forth. So we had a lot of planning, finalized planning for all of that. From there, I went directly into a half-hour call with our media firm. That was a 4 p.m. conference call with the media firm and some of our administrative staff. And then as soon as that meeting finished at 4:30, I went on to another radio interview for about a half hour. They were asking me about upcoming events in the pro-life movement. Had some dinner, got end-of-day reports from staff. And then at 9 p.m., I went into the studio to do a live broadcast together with two of our priests associates, Father Dennis Wild and Father David Begany, both of whom serve Priests for Life. And we did a broadcast for priests, primarily, but also for anyone else that wanted to learn about how to celebrate Sanctity of Life Sunday and how to prepare for the March for Life. So that was 9 p.m. Went for about an hour, 9 to 10 p.m. And finally, Friday, January 12th, again, a day of intense work at the office. Here are some of the topic areas I had to deal with. Taping of a special devotional that I was asked to do online by some of our Christian friends in the movement. Contacts with donors, approval of an email regarding the New Hampshire primary. Election meeting follow-up email. I told you we had that election training when we'll always do a follow-up email, so I approved that. Our political outreach director composes it. Broadcast scheduling work, creation of more opinion pieces, some writing, creation of a fax that we sent out to all the parishes across the country, approval of emails going out, work on our national survey, and that was some of the desk work. I had meetings with our video and social media team in the morning. I planned and reviewed some tapings for our clergy, online liturgical resources for pro-life. And then at 11 a.m., I did an interview that I was very much looking forward to with Coach Joe Kennedy. Now, you may recognize him. He's the coach who prayed on the football field, and the school district in Washington State objected. He took the case all the way to the Supreme Court, and he won. And that his case came out just a few days after the Dobbs case in 2022. I met Coach recently when we were both on a panel at the America Fest, Charlie Kirk's conference, and we did a great interview, and we're going to do more together. Touched base with our video people in the course of the afternoon, had to do a lot of work at my desk, and caught up with staff through the course of the afternoon, got their end-of-day reports in the evening. And then at night, did some just quiet work in my office, but I also did some Christmas meditating. I like to, at the conclusion of the Christmas season, just reflect on more Christmas things in a relaxing way. Decorations were still up in the office, and so I just took some personal time to enjoy those decorations and a little extra time of prayer, in other words, Friday night as we got ready for the weekend. There it is, January 8th to the 12th, 2024. The new year is well underway. I hope it is going well for you too, and we will talk to you soon.